Hi guys, Chris here. I'm editing the video and I realised that I didn't mention at all that all of the race resources are available on our website at runawayracing.com. Go to the Suffolk page and you'll find everything that I mentioned in this video. The other thing to say is I didn't actually say when the race starts. It's an 8:30 start from Kensington Gardens in Lowestoft. Right, let's get into the video. So hello and welcome to the race briefing video for the Suffolk Coastal Path 50k, which is taking place on Saturday. So welcome along. Thanks very much for joining us. Now I'm going to go through just all of the kind of basic race information that you need to know ahead of Saturday. We do this over video, so you've got lots of time to watch it and digest it rather than us rushing around on race day. So Saturday marks the third Suffolk Coastal Path 50k, and we have received loads of entries this year, so it's fantastic to see so much support from all of you. We should have 300 of you starting from Lowestoft and making your way along what are some really stunning coastal trails, footpaths to the beautiful town of Aldborough, where the finish line will be. So let's get over and into the details. Now, obviously this is a route that goes from one place to another, so there's a slight kind of logistical challenge on getting to and from your car or getting picked up, dropped off. So I know a lot of you have taken advantage of our coach service, which is going from Thorpe Road Car Park in Aldborough. Just to note, that is a different location to the finish line. It's a little bit further north up the coastal path. Nice big car park there, and we've got 4 coaches taking people from Aldborough to the start line before the race. Okay, so we have a list on our website that shows who's on that coach list. Please check that your name's on there if you're planning to get the coach. But as I say, we've got 4 coaches. The plan is to have 2 of them leave around about 6:45 and the other 2 leave slightly later, about 7, so we'll stagger them slightly. So those of you who get the coach will arrive very close to registration. You'll make your way over to registration and you'll pick up your bib for the day. Now, we are allowing people to register on Friday night as well. So if you're in the Lowestoft area on Friday night, come on down to the registration area and you can pick up your bib anytime between 7 and 8 p.m. That's going to enable you to not have to worry really about anything on race morning other than turning up and getting there and running from 8:30 onwards. So I'd really encourage you to do that if that's possible, because yes, it will help us and it will help you to get yourself sorted. If you're not getting the coach and you're not registering on Friday night, then I would also advise arriving between 7:15 and 7:30, because that means you're going to be getting there before the coach load arrives, and obviously that will quite quickly build up a bit more of a queue. So if you get in there before the coach arrives, it's going to be way quicker for you guys. Just a word on the parking at the start. So there's lots of public car parks very close to Kensington Gardens, which is where registration and start is. Again, I'm going to put on the screen now a little map just showing you where that registration and that start location is and where some different car parks are, but there's plenty of options for you to sort that out and kind of just walk down in a couple of minutes. Okay, a couple other things to say on registration. The first would be bag drop. So we have the ability to transport a bag from the start to the finish for you. Now, obviously we don't want to have 300 huge bags, so please limit the size on this. And of course, those of you that are getting the coach transfer service, when you arrive at the finish, you'll be very close to your vehicles, so you can leave your bigger bags in those cars and then you could just be able to walk and grab them after the race. Of course, if you want to wear a jacket or something on the coach and then drop that off, that's absolutely fine. And those of you that are getting dropped off just at the start, obviously you can drop a bag with us and we will transport it. But yeah, please just do be a little bit aware of size and space. The other thing to say is t-shirts. If you've pre-ordered a t-shirt, which a lot of you have, we will be giving those to you at the finish, but you will need to go and pick that up yourself. So you'll see that after you finish, there will be a table underneath one of the gazebos where we've got all of the t-shirts. Just go there, give your name, we'll have a list and we'll be able to give you your t-shirt there. We're not doing that at the start because probably you haven't got anywhere to put it and you don't want to run 50k with a t-shirt in your bag. We do have a few extras to purchase if you haven't pre-ordered. Again, just head to that table at the finish line and we should be able to sort you out with a t-shirt. So we get quite a lot of questions about footwear for this race. So there's no mandatory guidelines on what footwear you should put on your feet for the day. It's completely up to you. Now this is a trail course, but given the nature of where it is, there are fairly long sections at times on country lanes. There are times when you're on very hard dirt paths. There's some on pavements and there's some on softer ground such as a bit of sand, bit of shingle, that kind of stuff. We've had plenty of people wear road shoes in previous years and that's been absolutely fine. Personally, I would still wear a trail shoe, but I'd wear something with a bit of cushioning rather than something really close to the ground just to give you that extra support that you might want on the harder trails, okay? So have a think about that. Obviously, there's no real rain forecast between now, which is Tuesday, and the race, so it shouldn't be too wet, but if the weather does change, then I would definitely err on the side of caution and go with that trail running shoe over a road running shoe. Okay, so mandatory kit, things that you have to carry with you for the duration of the race are as follows. You'll need your mobile phone, and we'd like you to save the emergency phone number that gets you through to race control in case you have an issue on the day. I'll put that number on the screen now. We also need you to have the ability to carry water with you, so having some soft flasks or some bottles with you, minimum capacity of 500 mils. There are 4 checkpoints en route where you can top your water bottles up. Those are at 13 kilometers, which is the first one. Then we've got 23 kilometers, which is a village hall in Raiden. Then we have 35 in Dunwich, which is at the Dunwich Church car park. And then the final one at Sizewell Beach, 44k. So all of those places you can fill up your water bottles. You need to be able to carry a minimum of 500 mils. Of course, most of you, I'm sure, will be carrying a litre. Now additionally, we do have electrolyte mix and Coke at the aid station, so if you want to take advantage of those drinks and you don't want to put them in your larger bottles, then you will need a reusable soft cup. A lot of you will have one, please bring it along so we're not providing you with disposable cups at the checkpoints. Some of you have purchased those soft cups with a Runaway logo on. You'll get given that at registration, so just mention that when you're registering and they'll give you a cup. You also then need to be able to carry a light jacket or a foil blanket. Most of you won't need to use that throughout the day, but you never know, if you don't quite make it to the finish line, you'll really be quite happy to have that in your bag to put it on as you cool down. Cash or bank card, please carry some form of way of paying for things, again in case you need to, for whatever reason, buy something during the day. We've then got hot or cold kind of mandatory kit, which I don't think, actually we need to activate either of those, but we've got a kind of a recommendation that potentially bring some hat and gloves if it is going to be looking a little bit colder, because the forecast towards the end of this week is looking quite cold. If it changes and we've suddenly got high heats, which I don't think we will, then we'd mandate a sun hat, something to cover your head with. But again, I don't think that's going to be required this weekend, which is probably for the best. We had 30 degrees for this event last year, and we were really having to provide quite a lot of ice at the aid stations to try and get everyone cooled down and get everyone kind of safely to the finish line. So I think actually we're in a really nice place with the weather. Let's hope it stays like that. Okay, so on to the route marking. So the entire route, the entire 50k is marked. It's going to be marked with our orange signage. I'll show you what that looks like. So it's a few different options. So we've got the ribbons that look like this. Typically you find these on kind of the longer straight sections where you're not actually having to turn off anywhere, but we want to give you some reassurance that you're on the right trail. So orange ribbons that look like this. And then the signage itself, a couple of different sizes. but they're all orange backgrounds with a white arrow. So we've got some that are narrow, some that are in A4, sometimes some a little bit bigger than that even, and some that are sometimes even a little bit smaller, but that's what it all looks like. We do also mandate that you have to have the race route either on your watch, and I'd strongly recommend, if you have the feature, to turn that breadcrumb function on so you can see the map that you're meant to be following. But if not, you'll find on our website we've got links to the route on Google Maps, on OS Maps, on Garmin, and you can also download the raw GPX file. Really, that's just there as a backup. We really hope you don't need to use it, but please make sure that you have in some way got access to that just in case you need it. Now, a lot of the points where you could go wrong, the kind of big sharp turnings, you will see marshals out on the course. So a massive thanks to the Lowestoft road runners who are providing a load of marshals, as they have done for all of our editions of this race. You'll see a lot of them through Southwold, and lots of other marshals provided by the Suffolk Lowland Search and Rescue. So they will all be wearing either a high-vis or the Suffolk Lowland jackets. They will tell you where to go, and in some occasions they will help you get across a road, or make sure you don't miss a turning. But having said that, you are running on open public footpaths, you are crossing at times busy roads, and you do need to make yourself accountable for those. You need to make sure that you safely cross the road, you're looking out for traffic, you're not just blindly following runners in front of you. Please just have that awareness about you, that although you're part of a race, you're still just a general member of the public, making your way across the public footpaths, and you do need to take some responsibility for that. Be nice to other people that you see. Close any gates that you open. If you go past any livestock or you go past any horse riders, please be very respectful to them, and just maybe slow down if you need to and go to a walk while you pass more vulnerable trail users. Okay? One other sign that you might see is a wrong way sign. We don't put many of these out, but occasionally when you're taking a sharp turn and there's a chance that you could miss it a little bit further down the trail, we put a wrong way sign on the way that we don't want you to go. So if you see one of those, just turn around, retrace your steps until you find the sign, or consult your watch or your phone and just check the map and see where you are. Alright, so I've mentioned the checkpoints. As I say, we've got 4 of the checkpoints: 13, 23, 35 and 44. Food, drink, water, support, anything that you need, we will hope to provide for you there. Please make sure you take advantage of those. Now, toilets, worth saying, checkpoint 1, there is no toilet, but you do go past a public toilet at around about 7 kilometres as you go through somewhere called Kessingland. And there are many other public toilets en route. So as you go through Southwold, you will find other public toilets. Checkpoint 2, Raydon Village Hall, we do have toilets there. Dunwich, which is at the church, there's a toilet in the church itself, so it's a little slight walk off the checkpoint, but there is a toilet there. But there's also toilets at Dunwich Beach, and Sizewell there is toilets. So there are plenty of toilets on the route, but not all of them are directly at the aid stations. There's always the possibility that something doesn't quite go your way on the race. Now, if you want to stop and you cannot continue, please do try to do that at one of our aid stations. One of the marshals there will advise you what to do. Maybe a relative or a friend can come pick you up, but if you have no other options, we will aim to coordinate transport to the finish for you. Now, if there's an emergency out on the route, you have a phone number on your race bib that will take you through to event control. That can then be relayed to the medical teams who can respond. And of course, if there's any major medical issues, as you normally would, please call 999. And we'd strongly recommend that you have the What 3 Words app on your phone in case you need to locate your very specific location to the emergency services or to us so that we can respond. Alright, so you get to the finish line, you get to Aldeburgh, you've run 50 kilometres, you're going to receive, thanks to Adnams, because they are going to be giving you a very refreshing bottle of their alcohol-free beer. Now, you probably want actually some alcohol, a lot of you. There's loads of amazing pubs in Aldeburgh, so once you've downed and rehydrated your non-alcoholic beer, have a look around and there's plenty of places to go. You've also got very famous fish and chip shop in Aldeburgh and loads of places you can go. Hang around at the finish. cheer your fellow runners in. Spectators are very, very welcome to come to lots of different locations on the course. One thing to say on that is that we don't allow spectators at checkpoint 1. There's 0 car parking, or checkpoint 2 at the village hall, because it's a very busy area and it becomes quite dangerous with lots of cars coming in and out as runners are crossing. So no spectators please at checkpoint 1 or 2 unless they're on foot. If they're walking or running to that location, well, that's okay, but no parking directly at those locations. We've actually created a handy spectators guide which is available on our website, which does recommend a few places that we would recommend sending your friends and family to see along the route. Walberswick, for example, is a great place to do that. Lots of nice places to get something to eat or drink and see the runners through that location. Results will be online straight away as you finished. There will be some split times that you'll get along the route. If you head over to runawayracing.com/results, you will find where you finished, your time and your placing there immediately. So yeah, check that out. There's also going to be a photographer out on the route. Those photos will probably take 24 hours or so, 48 hours to get to your email, but they are going to be freely downloadable. So hopefully we catch you looking good. So guys, thanks very much for listening to me. Hopefully all of that has made a lot of sense to you and you're feeling absolutely pumped for Saturday. It's going to be a great day. I personally can't wait to see all of you crossing that finish line in Aldborough. I'll be there waiting with a smile. So guys, yeah, have a safe journey down, however you get in there, and we will see you on Saturday.